My name is Brian Turner, and I used to have extremely severe cystic acne that I've been fortunate enough to be able to get rid of. Now, I had to learn a lot to do that, and honestly, with all the acne info out there, it can definitely be overwhelming. So today, I want to make it easier. I'm going to break down 3 easy, medium, and hard things that you can do that will help you get rid of your acne. Let's do this. Before we start, like I said, there is so much info out there, it makes it really hard to know what's gonna help your individual cause of acne. So I created a program called the acnemethod.com that just simplifies everything. It helps you identify your personal acne triggers and then develop a plan so that you can get rid of it as fast as possible. Now I made it 10 steps, so it's really easy to follow. Thousands of people have already completed it, so go on the site and check out some of the before and afters. All right, now let's dive into this list, starting with the 3 easiest things that you can implement. The first one is try using a gentle cleanser. If you have moderate to severe acne, a beta hydroxy acid cleanser can help a ton. You always want to start with the lowest concentration of the acid because if you start too high, you can irritate your skin, and definitely take note of this lesson. Irritated skin breaks out more. So a 2.5% benzoyl peroxide or a 0.5% salicylic acid are proven in countless studies to help improve acne, so I would start there. Now the second easy thing you can do is to start taking a multivitamin. I have lots of videos that break down each vitamin and mineral, but there are a lot of studies now that show that people who are deficient in selenium, zinc, B5, magnesium, just to name a few, they have higher rates of acne. I know this sounds really simple, right? It sounds almost stupid, but on average, 30 to 60% of people are deficient in at least one or more of these vitamins and minerals that they found cause acne when people are deficient in them. If you go on Reddit, you will see tons of stories that people started supplementing with blank whatever vitamin or mineral, and then they saw their acne either improve a lot or completely disappear. So this is no effort, almost no effort, but it potentially has a huge payoff. Now the third and final easy thing you can try is to avoid touching your face. I know, duh, super obvious, but if you're like me, you accidentally touch your face all the time without even knowing it. You know, sitting in class, you lean on your hand, going to sleep, you put your hands up to your cheek, you itch your face just when it gets itchy, you might bite your nails, whatever it is, you are touching your face all the time. And unfortunately for us acne prone people, the bacteria that is on your fingers from all the things that you're touching on a daily basis, not the least of which is doorknobs or your butt or the toilet seat, that causes massive havoc on your face. You don't have to be perfect, but just by being aware, just starting to think of this, you're gonna catch yourself as you start reaching for your face, and it'll make it an easy habit to stop it. All right, easy things out of the way. Now let's move on to the medium things. The first one is to eat fermented foods. But why? I won't go super deep into it here because I have some really great videos that dive deep into gut health, but when your gut health isn't good, you can have something called leaky gut syndrome where toxins can leak out of your intestines and then cause breakouts. Now, luckily, you can improve your gut health pretty quickly by just introducing new good bacteria, either by supplementing with a probiotic like acidophilus is a really common one, or by eating fermented food. Things like kimchi, sauerkraut, miso, look it up. Any fermented food is gonna have that good bacteria in them. And when I started having about 1 to 2 servings of fermented foods every day, I noticed a huge difference in my skin. The second medium thing that you can do is to avoid or reduce smoking and alcohol consumption. Now, alcohol increases something in your body called mTOR, and when it's raised, it increases your oil production, which means more acne. It also irritates your gut, and it contributes to bad gut health by irritating the gut lining and then increasing the amount of bad bacteria that is in your gut. Smoking is pretty similar. It creates toxicity that your body has to work to get rid of, and oftentimes our liver and our kidneys are already at their limit, which has forced your body to try and push some of those toxins out of your skin, aka acne. Also, smoke has these small particles that can actually get stuck to the squalene in the oil on our skin, and then that can cause acne. So if you can't remove it completely, try to reduce both of these as much as you can. The third and final medium thing that you can do is to chemically exfoliate your skin. We have a ton of research now that shows that physical exfoliants, the microbeads, the sugar scrubs, anything where you are actually rubbing and scrubbing your face with something rough, those cause acne because they irritate your face. And remember, irritation causes your skin to break out. Instead of those, we should chemically exfoliate with an alpha hydroxy acid. This helps us remove that top layer of dead skin cells. Those dead skin cells can clump together and clog pores. So when we remove that out of the equation, it helps us to reduce breakouts. And then also good for us is that it stimulates collagen and elastin regrowth, which makes our skin look healthier. It also improves acne scarring, discoloration, hyperpigmentation, erythema, all those kind of things. Now, there are a lot of alpha hydroxy acids: kojic acid, malic acid, lactic acid, but the most common and the most researched one is glycolic acid. The one that I use personally is the pumpkin enzyme mask from Banish. I like this one because it's gentle, so I don't end up with irritated skin because I tend to have pretty sensitive skin. And usually people exfoliate 1 to 2 times a week. This one lets me do it twice a week without any problem. If you've never tried exfoliating before with glycolic acid, it's going to amaze you how instantly good your skin feels, but also in countless studies, seriously, lots of studies, it shows that it helps improve all types of acne. All right, now we're moving on to the hard stuff. A little disclaimer, this is on the hard list because it takes a lot of effort to change your daily habits, so please do not get discouraged if you aren't perfect at first, just do your best. The first thing on this hard list is to eat more whole foods and to cook your own meals. For most people, we're all super busy. We're all traveling, we're all moving around every single day, so it is really hard to cook all your own food. It is a lot easier to roll through a drive-thru, grab some microwavable food, just heat it up in the microwave, but there is a lot of things in those foods that can cause acne. High amounts of fat, high amounts of sugar, preservatives, artificial colors, sweeteners, all of that stuff can cause acne for countless different reasons that I won't get into, but when you cook your own whole foods, you control what goes into it. So you can avoid all those bad things, but you can also get more prebiotic fibers. Now, prebiotic fibers are any fiber that you find in whole foods. So rice, oats, quinoa, whole grain pasta, the list goes on. And what prebiotic fibers do is feed the good bacteria that's in your gut, which helps it to grow, and you have more good bacteria, which then helps to repair your gut health. Again, it's not easy, but start by replacing just one meal at a time. Another huge tip is if you are really busy, just cook big batches of food all at once. Basically meal prepping. That way you can just heat those things up instantly, or you can take them with you in like a little Tupperware to work and school. The second thing is to avoid popping pimples. I realize putting this on the hard list is probably an understatement. It should almost be on the impossible list, but when you pop pimples with your fingers, you get bacteria on your face. But even beyond that, think of a pimple as like a balloon, right? It has a top, which you see, that's the whitehead, but it also has a bottom, and that's under the skin. When you try to pop a pimple and you have to use a decent amount of pressure, or even an insane amount of pressure, you oftentimes pop the bottom of that pimple under the skin before you pop the top. That causes a ton of inflammation, which makes the pimple swell up twice the size, get really red, and it lasts much longer. All right, real quick story time. I used to get cysts all over my face. I used to have one on my forehead all the time. One time I popped a pimple, or a cyst, I guess, on my forehead with a lot of pressure, and it made it absolutely huge, like 3 times bigger after I had popped it. And then it lasted, I'm not exaggerating, 4 months. If you can, avoid popping it altogether. I have videos showing me doing this. It's gonna harden under the skin, and then it's gonna naturally fall out while you're in the shower or while you're sleeping. Understandably, if it is impossible for you to leave that whitehead on your face, then make sure you pop it correctly. Steam your face first to soften the skin, then get an acne lancet, disinfect it, and use it to pierce just the top of that pimple, and then either apply as little pressure as possible, or more preferably, just put a hydrocolloid bandage or a sticker on top of it, and overnight it's gonna suck all of that sebaceous fluid out. Either way, stop popping your pimples like a freaking madman. And the final hard thing that you can do is the elimination diet. This is really important. We have lots of scientific research now that proves that certain foods cause all of us to create more sebum oil, which means more breakouts for everyone. Some of these things are alcohol, high fat foods, high sugar foods, dairy, just to name a few. Now, just because you eat some of those things doesn't mean you're gonna break out. But these things do increase that thing I was talking about in your body earlier, mTOR. And some people can get away with some raised mTOR because it's not quite high enough yet to trigger more acne. But there's another side to all this. We all know that food allergies exist and everyone has different food allergies, but generally we think of celiac disease, right? Where people have these food allergies that, cause them to be doubled over, sitting on the toilet forever. But a lot of us have less severe food allergies that we don't really know. And these slight food allergies can actually cause a lot of acne. So the elimination diet helps us find out what foods agree with us and which ones don't. To do the elimination diet, we remove one type of food that we want to test out for 1 to 2 weeks, and we notice if our acne improves or not. Some common ones to start with are dairy, soy, gluten, chocolate. The list can go on forever, but you have to do it 100% strict because, for example, I used to have a gallon of milk every single day, and I had 4 to 5 cysts on my face at any time. When I removed dairy 100%, my cysts started to go away. I was really excited, and then I figured I could probably have a little dairy here and there. So I had a dairy, like a whey protein bar, and literally the next day I had a cyst that started to form on my forehead. So if you don't cut each food out 100%, you are not going to have clear results. Over time, the elimination diet will help you map out which foods help your acne and which foods make it worse. It took me a while to choose which ones I wanted to put in this video because I seriously have a ton more for each category. So please let me know if you want me to make a part 2 or maybe even a part 3 or maybe a part 4. I could make this a series. Just let me know if you're interested in that. Also, if you are looking for my all-time favorite products I use in my daily skincare routine, I definitely recommend checking out Banish for acne scarring, mild to moderate acne, hyperpigmentation, those dark spots, erythema, that redness. I'm a huge science geek, and all the ingredients in their products are actually backed up by scientific studies that prove they work. You can use my code, it's Brian5 for a discount. I know you've tried a lot of things to improve your acne, and I'm sure some of those things that have worked for you weren't on my list. So please leave a comment adding anything that I didn't cover in the comment section. It's a great way to help the community learn more things to try. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already for more skincare and acne content every week. Remember, you are not alone, you are beautiful, and you're part of Team Acne. I'll see you skin bosses in the very next video.